Okay. Good morning. Hereafter, your preparation should be different. You have got the pattern, no? That is for Anna University. We'll be having an online exam, one mark and 2 mark. Okay, 31 marks and 2 marks. We'll be having 15. It seems. Okay, so 30 plus 30, you'll be getting 60. 1 marks no for VDDC and all. You have to concentrate on 2 marks. I have conducted one pre-university exam no. In that, I have asked one 2 mark question also. That is what we can ask no. In part B question, there will be one problem. They will not be asking all the 5 terms. They will be asking the first term. That is find the brake power, find the frictional mean effective pressure. Like that, you may get a question. That is, you don't need to concentrate on 16 mark, but go through the 16 mark. They may ask a 2 mark. That is the first part. Otherwise, they will go to the last part and they will give the data whatever necessary for the last part, and they may ask. So, what type of question you can anticipate is a 2 mark question. A given data will be given. You have to use the formula and you have to get the answer. So you may expect this type of question. Since it is new, we have to prepare for everything. Okay, and they may ask you to give the formula. That is, a formula may be given, and you may ask to tick which is the correct formula. Since it is MCQ, you don't need to mug up. Just you have to see what will be the correct formula, then you can select. So it is very easier for you to get pass mark in this semester. So if you are having any arrears also, you concentrate well. It is a nice chance for you to clear your papers. For multiple choice question, you don't need to mug up. Just go through the content, read it, and understand. That will be sufficient. Memory is not needed. They are taking the exam to the next level. That is, just go through the content. So four options will be there. You don't need to mug up. By reading that answer, when you are understood the concept, when you have gone through the material, you will be able to select one. Okay, so no need for remembering. It is a need for understanding. So it is a good method of evaluating. It is more student friendly. So no need to sit and write exam for 3 hours and all. Hmm? So off preparation you may get pass mark also. Full preparation you may get good marks. Okay, so it is made student friendly. So take the exam seriously and try to get a good grade. So your seniors have got good grades. Okay, so your evaluation is totally different. Your evaluation is more student friendly. You have to go through it. The question paper is tough. It is, if the quality is like gate means, then you will be facing some difficulty. So directly they may not ask. They may have we may have some twist. If it is a normal question paper, then it will be easier for you. So you have to prepare like gate, but quality we can't expect like gate, because then most of the students will be getting less mark. It will be less than gate only, so that everyone will get pass mark. Okay, so gate is a aptitude test where you have to put more effort, but this one is a qualifying exam, no. So we can expect it will not be difficult like a gate. I think so. Okay. Now we will our teaching will be addressing 1 mark and 2 mark. Okay. Now we will be discussing one question now. That is last class we discussed about performance curve unit 1. We have seen how to plot the curve, torque, mechanical efficiency for different vehicle speeds, and I have told you what are the questions previously asked, but now they will not be able to ask like this. Yeah, 2 marks can be asked. Okay, let me explain you how the question will come. See, last class I explained this problem. The bore and stroke of the vertical is given, torque also given. He is asking brake mean effective pressure. So they will not ask all other things, only first one. they will ask you what is brake mean effective pressure. So we'll be using this formula, that is brake mean effective pressure 16t d squared l 5.34. That's all over. A 2 mark will be completed. So only a question can be asked like this. Okay, they will not be getting all the values, just one value will be they will be asking. See next, you have to find the brake mean effective pressure. If they are asking you brake mean effective pressure, brake power will be given. So formula, substitute the value, answer. That will be the 2 marks. Okay. So we have seen that problem. Now we'll be seeing another problem that in conventional exam you may get a question in this, that is in 13 marks. But you go through the problem, that 13 marks will be converted into 5 2 marks or 2 2 marks. Okay, data will be given. That is what I mean to say is you will be finding input power. No, you may ask another indicated thermal efficiency. For that, you no need to find indicated power. Indicated power will be given. But the logic is you have to know all the formulas what we are using in part B question. Okay, running and late. Okay. Now see, last class we have seen this performance curve. No, in that they may ask a question: why indicated mean effective pressure will be greater than brake mean effective pressure? A difference between both will be the friction mean effective pressure. So like that, questions can be asked. Okay, that is how you are inferring information from the graph. So you may get a, they may be plotting two trends of the curve. Four options will be there. They will be plotting a curve. And they may ask which is the performance curve for SA engine, which is the performance curve for CA engine. So like that, a question can be asked. Okay. Now I will be addressing this problem. This have been asked in university exam. That is, it has been asked several times. Okay. So you take a notebook and pen, take down this problem. Okay, see what it is asked. No, automobile engine is operating at thermal efficiency. So given data is what? Thermal efficiency is 22%. Okay, given data, thermal efficiency is 22%. Let me let us keep a blank side. Read this problem. Is assumed that automobile engine can operate at thermal efficiency of 22%. Okay. Let us write the given data first. Simultaneously, you can also write thermal efficiency. How much it is given? 22. Okay. Either you can put 22% or point. Next, volumetric efficiency 80%, mechanical efficiency 82. Okay. So other condition, operating condition, volumetric efficiency. For this, you no need to write the given data. Since it is 2 mark, you have to interpret the data. So that only I am typing this. Okay. I don't know whether rough papers are allowed. You have to see the screen and you have to type or whatever it may be. But we don't know about that exam, no. So we are preparing in the conventional way. That is to write the given data. Okay. So that you can understand what are the data given. 80%, 0.8 volumetric efficiency. Then mechanical efficiency 82%. You write it, okay? Take a notebook and write it. Knowledge is important, not scoring marks. First, knowledge is important. Okay, for that you have to solve this problem. You may get some knowledge, and that knowledge can be used for getting marks and also it can be used for your placement as well as project and your performance. So don't think that you are solving this problem, only 2 marks is going to come, so it will not be useful like that. So knowledge is important. You are gathering knowledge. Okay, that is very very important. So you can see three data are given: thermal efficiency 22%, volumetric efficiency 80, mechanical efficiency 82%. Okay, and he has given heat value. That is what calorific value. Okay, you can write heat value or calorific value. It is given CV. Only for writing given data, time will take. Okay, because it is very important how you are taking information from the problem. So it is given C 46,400. So simultaneously, I am showing the problem side as well as given data. You have to write it. Okay, I am manually typing it, but you have to write. Now see theoretical air required per kg. It is 14.5. Okay, 14. Let me check whether this problem is asked. Is the same number? Yeah, this problem only. We are solving the correct problem. I think we didn't solve this. Okay. Mm, theoretical air ratio 14.5. That you know already. You know. So you can write air fuel ratio. That is a chemically correct air fuel ratio. You can write CCM. Chemically correct air fuel ratio is 14.5 is to 1. But in this problem, it is given excess air 25%. Manikandan, please unmute and answer. Now today, my voice is audible, so that I have to check it again. Manikandan, let me go to chat box whether it is audible or not. 11% told it is audible. Manikandan, unmute man. Manikandan, Vishnu, Raghuman. Someone please unmute and tell whether audible or not. Otherwise, now itself I will correct. Last class problem came no. What happened to Manikandan? Mic problem, it seems. Okay. Excess 25%. And it is given petrol vapor as a density twice that of density of air. Okay. And gas constant is given. Petrol vapor as density twice the density of air. Okay. Excess 25% air. Density petrol vapor. So we can write density PV is equal to rho. Actually, density we will give the simple rho. So let us put density itself. Density of fuel 2 times of density of air. Okay. And the end of section shows we are having a pressure and temperature is given, gas constant is given. So you write pressure at the end of section stroke and temperature. Both are at the end of section stroke. Pressure and temperature at the end of section stroke. Okay. We will take this value 8.24 into 10 power 4. You write it any data will be given and you may ask any parameter. Okay, so you have to prepare like that only. Don't think that the first one will come. The second one answer will be given and third one value may be asked. Okay, D3 Kelvin, 8.2 into 10 power 4. Gas constant, that is capital R. Okay, 287 is given in joule. This kilojoule, you have to put this answer and all you should be knowing without seeing. Gas constant is always 0.287 kilojoule. I'm putting kilojoule, okay? In problem, it is given joule. I'm converting into kilojoule. If it is required, we can again convert into joule. So what is asking? Come to the problem now. Cylinder dimensions, okay? He is asking to find cylinder cylinder dimensions. And see, brake power, speed, okay, and stroke is given. Is given brake power, speed, and stroke is given 25% greater than diameter. Okay, so let us take. I think already we have seen this problem or not. I don't know, but it is given in third unit. Brake power kilowatt. So come immediately. I will finish this problem. Okay, at speed 4,200 RPM. Okay, and he has given stroke is 25% greater than diameter. So it means what? IL stroke 25% greater than dia. So I can write 1.25 of D. Okay. So already I have explained you. I think in the last unit. So this is the given data. Okay. This is the given data. So you have to find cylinder dimension. So the first step is you have to find brake power. So this question can be, so I am not showing all this. See, brake power is given. See, it is given 66 kilowatt. No, speed also is given 4,200. So first, I am going to find indicated power. See, mechanical efficiency is given. That is for finding cylinder dimensions. Why it is required, I will be explaining in the last. That is in the last class I have explained you. That is based on volumetric efficiency only. We will be finding the bore and stroke. Okay. Once volumetric efficiency is known, we'll be able to find a D, that is a diameter. From that, we will be able to find bore. Okay. So I think I might have explained this problem earlier, similar to this problem. Okay. So now we will be seeing for 2 marks. See, I am going to explain this problem from the perspective of 2 marks. Okay. So I may ask you to find indicated power. Okay. You listen carefully. Previously, you might have studied this problem for 16 marks. Now I am explaining you for 2 marks. Okay. So first of all, they may be asking you to find indicated power. You forget about the values. Okay. They may ask you to find indicated power. How I can find indicated power? Mechanical efficiency and brake power must be given. This is the way. That is finding indicated power from mechanical efficiency. Okay. So a 2 mark question. Mechanical efficiency is given. Brake power is given. Okay. So I can find. So I can find indicated power by like this 66 by 0.82, that is 80.5 kilowatt. Okay. Next, This is the first 2 marks you have understood. Like this, you have to get the information. That is, you will not get the entire problem. But for learning VDDC, you must be able to solve this problem. And due to this online exam, you have to understand that 2 marks, breaking the 13 marks into 5 2 marks. So first 2 mark is this one, finding indicated power. So you have to find it from brake power by mechanical efficiency. Okay. Manikandan, can you please unmute? No response. I think he is connected, but
Yes, sir.
but-
Yes, sir.
okay. Now today audible now.
Yes, sir.
Today teaching methodology will be different. Okay, that is to address two
Okay, sir.
marks. Okay, 16 marks will
Okay,
be
sir.
16 mark will be 13 marks will be broken down into 5 2 marks. Okay,
Okay, sir.
and this one is first 2 mark for finding indicated power, brake power divided by mechanical efficiency. Okay,
Okay, sir.
next you see we have to find indicated thermal efficiency. Okay, let me crop it. So whatever essential, so this one is not needed for me, but this is needed. See, I am putting everything. Everything is 2 marks now. Listen carefully. Everything is 2 mark now. First of all, indicated thermal efficiency can be found by this formula. That is indicated power multiplied by 60, and what is the fuel multiplied by eating value. Okay. In order to get kilogram per minute only, we are putting what? 60. Okay. That is this one is kilogram per minute. We will be substituting it, and for converting into what, it will be joule per second. No. So 60, I have to keep it here. The 60 will be going into the numerator. So we'll be getting watt, indicated power kilowatt, and heat value multiplied by W, it will be kilowatt. So that it will be cancelled, and you'll be finding indicated thermal efficiency. Now see, if I'm going to ask you, find the indicated thermal efficiency, if it is a 2 mark, I'll be giving a data. That is, you no need to find weight of fuel. Directly, I will be giving this data. And heat value also will be given. Indicated power also, you no need to find like this. Value will be given. Just you have to substitute this value, and you have to find indicated thermal efficiency. So for finding out indicated thermal efficiency, you should know this formula. Indicated power into 60 and weight of fuel consumed multiplied by heating value. Okay. Now, weight of the fuel consumed here, you should use what? Kilogram per minute. Okay. Don't use kilogram per second. If you are using kilogram per second, you don't need to put 60. Okay. So substitute this value, and you can find indicated thermal efficiency. That will be the another 2 mark. Now for this problem, see how to find weight of the fuel. Okay, how to find weight of the fuel. That is, I am addressing in two way. For finding indicated thermal efficiency, you can solve like this: indicated power into 60 by weight of the fuel by HV. For this problem, indicated thermal efficiency is given. Go here. Indicated thermal efficiency is given. Okay, you can see 80.5 is the indicated power. Indicated thermal efficiency is 0.22. See, first itself it is given now thermal efficiency. That is nothing but indicated thermal efficiency. I can put like this. Okay, IT. That is I is using I. Otherwise, I am using T. So not a issue. So we are writing what? Indicated thermal efficiency I is equal to IP into 60 by this one. So two things I can get. Two problems I can make 2 marks. That is for finding indicated thermal efficiency. Otherwise, I can find weight of fuel consumed by using indicated thermal efficiency. So here you can see it is 0.22 no. So I can put 80.5 into 60, 0.22, that is from given data. Calorific value see 46400. 46400. So you will be able to solve two marks. One is to find indicated thermal efficiency. Otherwise, you will be able to find weight of fuel consumed when indicated thermal efficiency is given. Okay. So next, I may ask you to find a weight of air theoretically required. So this is the fuel means another 2 mark. I will be giving another 1 mark. I may give what is the engine is going to consume this much fuel, 0.472 kg per minute. The air fuel ratio is so and so. Find the amount of air theoretically required. So what you have to do, air fuel ratio is given. See, 14.5 is to 1. So you multiply this by fuel. Air fuel is what? A by F, mass flow rate of air divided by mass flow rate of fuel. If I need a mass flow rate of fuel, air, you multiply mass flow rate of fuel by air fuel ratio. Either it can be mass flow rate or we are using here a weight of fuel. In VDDC, we are using the word weight of fuel. So 0.472 into 14.5, you will be getting what? 6.85. Okay. Now, actually, in this problem, it is given what? Excess air. Okay. So multiply by that is 1.25. Theoretically, you have to supply 6.25, but see, I am putting no excess air. Excess. So whatever theoretically requirement of air, 25% more. So theoretically, I need 6.85. For excess, I can put 1.25 into 6.85. That is 8.55 kg. Okay. Next, I am going to find a volume of air. This one is thermodynamics. Already I told you, PV is equal to MRT. So now another 2 mark. Find the volume of air supplied per minute at intake condition, the weight of air supplied, gas constant, temperature, pressure, everything will be given. So another 2 mark. Find the volume of air. Okay. So what you have to do? Put the weight of the air. Gas constant is putting 287. That is a year, you have to put 287. You should not put 0.287. You have to put 287. So it will be joule per kilogram Kelvin. Okay, joule per kilogram Kelvin. Then only I will be getting a meter cube. Here, don't put kilojoule. Then pressure should be, you have to change the unit accordingly. That is, it should be kilonewton. So pressure is given, see 8.24 into 10 power 4 Newton. So you should not put R in kilojoule. It should be joule. So see, I am putting a pressure value in Newton, 8.24 into 10 power 4. So from that, I am finding out volume of air. So another 2 marks. That is, you are studying 13 marks. And from that 13 mark, what are the 2 marks we will be able to get? For finding out volume of air, the formula you have to use is volume of air, that is weight of air, multiplied by gas constant, temperature divided by pressure. So this one is what? PV is equal to MRT. Already I might have explained you. Okay. So we have found out volume of air. Next. So I can delete this slide. Next, slowly I will be putting this. Okay. Now let me see density of air. Density of the air can be found mass per unit volume. Okay, I am not putting all the data. Slowly I am going to explain you. So see this one, weight of the air is given, volume of the air also is given. Okay, weight of the air we have calculated. Otherwise there will be another 2 mark. weight of the air, that is mass of the air, will be given. In VDDC, even though it is kg, they will be using the word weight of the air, but actually we will be using to tell mass of the air. Okay, so mass of the air, mass of the volume of the air will be given, and you may ask to find density. It is a very very simple thing. So what you have to do, you have to substitute mass, see 8.55 divided by volume 9.94. Okay, so you find the density, and density of the petrol vapor, go to the given data. Density of the petrol vapor fuel is 2 times of air. Okay, so 2 times I have found out density of the fuel. Now see volume of petrol vapor. How to find volume? Density of the fuel vapor is given. So density is equal to mass by volume. Volume is equal to mass by density. Okay. Next, there may be a problem to find soft volume. Okay, that will be a 2 mark. That will be pi by 4 d squared L into n by 2 into number of cylinder. You remember this. I told you, know, for number of cylinder, you will be using the alphabet K. From this only, I'm going to find my L and D. Okay, from this only, I'm going to find L and D. Okay, so total soft volume, you have to understand the formula is pi by 4. This one is area of the cylinder multiplied by stroke, and n by 2. Okay, n by 2 is nothing but it is a 4-stroke engine. So how much power stroke? Capital N by 2, number of cylinders. So you substitute this, you don't know D. Okay, so you are keeping like this. But this concept you have to take. I'll be giving a diameter, I'll be giving the stroke, I'll be giving the speed, I'll be giving the number of cylinder, and I will be asking you to find the swept volume in 2 marks. For that, from this problem, you can understand, you will be able to find swept volume using this formula. Okay. And next one, another 2 mark is volumetric efficiency. In this problem, volumetric efficiency is given 0.8. Go to the given data, 0.8. From that only, I'm going to find what? Diameter. Okay. So, but I may ask you a problem to find volumetric efficiency, so that total soft volume will be given and volume of charge taken in. Okay. That is VA and VF will be given. So here, see, I am finding out VF here, and VA I am finding out by PVMRT. Okay, so for this problem, VA and VF, that is 2 mark. I am converting this problem into 2 mark. VA and VF separately will be given, and soft volume will be given. You can make, you can calculate volumetric efficiency. That is converting this 13 mark into 2 marks. But here, what I am doing, VA VF is given. I don't know the bore diameter. Using this expression, I am going to calculate what? D. Okay. So see, I will not show this. I am cropping this now. You will be able to understand well. So this will be the answer for both 13 marks, as well as we will be able to get 2 marks. See, volumetric efficiency, you can use this formula. VAVF, you should be able to find. That is volume. Okay. So I may ask a question, volumetric efficiency given, volume given, total swept volume is given, find the bore. Otherwise, I will be asking a question to find volumetric efficiency, swept volume will be given, otherwise a VA and VF, this one will be given. So you have to understand, volumetric efficiency is equal to volume of charge taken in per minute at intake condition. So what will be the volume? See, in engine, both air and fuel is going to get inside. So you have to consider both volume of air plus volume of fuel. Okay. So from this, I will be able to find diameter, bore. Okay, ratio is given. So 13 marks is solved. The same 13 marks will not be given. From this 13 marks, 2 marks will be given. See, you can see my objective, that is in preliminary exam. What I have done now, I may give the data brake power and mechanical efficiency, and I may ask you to find indicated power. Okay, so each part of this 13 marks can be converted into 2 marks. Okay, now I will be showing one formula to you. So hereafter, that is a 13 marks with this third unit is over. Now I'm going to address you how to handle the 2 marks. What are the problems? What are the theory questions you may get in third unit? Okay. The third unit, conventionally 13 marks also, it is over now by seeing this problem. Now see, you have to understand what is indicated horsepower, brake power, driving horsepower. Okay. You look at this slide. I will have some water and I will come. Check whether I am audible now. Manikandan.
Yes, sir.
Now I am going to address you the 1 marks and 2 marks for VDDC from third unit. Okay. Listen carefully. They may ask you, what is power available at engine cylinder? It will be indicated power. Whereas power available at output shaft, it will be a brake power. And road wheel, driving horsepower. So you have to understand these three terms. And they may ask you, what is compression ratio? Total volume divided by clearance volume. Okay, formula. Clearance volume or VC, stroke volume swept or displacement volume. If I'm going to add VS plus VC, it will be a total volume. Okay, the total volume divided by clearance ratio will be the compression ratio. And this is very, very important. And the printed one I have taken from IC Engine V Ganesha. So now you write down this formula. Then only it will be good. When seeing this, you will not be getting any idea. Just seeing the slide, I'm making you to study now itself. So you don't need to go through again. If you are going to write, you will be having the formula in your mind. And by seeing the option in MCQ, you'll be able to correct it easily. That is, you will be able to judge it easily. So I am requesting everyone to write the formula in your notebook. Okay, otherwise in a paper. Writing once will be equivalent to reading 4 times. So this one is a formula. That is, for each formula, I will be giving 2 to 3 minutes. Indicated mean effective pressure. That is, from the graph I have to find. That is, I will be drawing indicator diagram. No, from that I should be able to find indicated mean effective pressure. So you can see area of indicator diagram divided by length of indicator diagram. So that is a conventional formula. Okay. And as per VDDC, what you will be doing, you will be having some diagram factor. That is to account error, you will be having a diagram factor here. So you have to multiply this. Okay. So indicated mean effective pressure will be equal to area of PV diagram multiplied by scale factor, uh, okay, and diagram factor by length of the diagram. Generally, we'll be using this formula, area of indicator diagram divided by length of diagram. This factor and all, you no need to worry. That is for doing experiments. Some factor, if this factor is given, you have to multiply this scale factor and diagram factor will be coming in the numerator. But without factor, you'll be able to write this formula. That is a conventional formula. You adapt this area of indicator by length of indicator diagram. And this one I asked in my objective also. When bore is equal to stroke, it will be a square engine. If bore is greater than L, it will be an under square engine. Bore is less than L, it will be over square engine. Okay. So you please remember this. Then how to find the indicated power? Indicated power I can find by conventional formula. Otherwise, I can find indicated power by adding frictional power to the brake power. Indicated power is equal to brake power plus frictional power. Mechanical efficiency is equal to brake power by indicated power. You write this. Then I am coming to the conventional formula from this IC engine book, Ganesan. It is a standard book, you can refer. No confusion will be there. Okay. First you write this. Indicated power equal to brake power plus frictional power, and mechanical efficiency is equal to brake power by indicated power. Okay. Without writing, you will not be able to understand, man. Just spend 1 or 2 minutes in writing. Okay. Now see, indicated thermal efficiency. Okay. So it is a clear cut formula. So why I am projecting this one? No, the same thing will be asked. Instead of numerator, they may give one option brake power, and second one indicated power. Instead of mass of fuel, they will put the mass of air. Okay. So like this, options can be different. Okay. So see, indicated thermal efficiency means ratio of energy in the indicated power to input fuel energy. You no need to remember this wording and all. You remember indicated power divided by energy in fuel. Okay. So that is very, very important. See, already I told you, always both the units should be same. Numerator kilowatt, denominator also should be in kilowatt. Then only efficiency value will be correct. If numerator is kilowatt, denominator is watt, then your answer will be different. Okay. So what you have to do, input power, you put in kilowatt, and energy in fuel per second. That is energy in fuel, you should calibrate in kilojoule, and mass flow rate of the fuel should be in minute. So that only in the problem you see in numerator 60 is going, why? We are putting, let me show the slide again. See, you may ask the same formula only, indicated power divided by energy. Why I am putting 60 here? I am going to put my weight of fuel in a minute. Then it will be a kilogram will be cancelled, kilojoule per minute. But indicated power in kilowatt. So not to convert into kilowatt, I am putting 60 to adapt this formula. Here, what? WF is kilogram per minute. If I'm putting WF kilogram per second, no need of this 60. Okay. So see here, indicated thermal efficiency will be indicated power, energy in fuel per second. Either it should be in watt or kilowatt. Both numerator and denominator should be same. And how to find energy in the fuel? That is how much energy the fuel is going to give. We will be able to find by multiplying mass of the fuel per second multiplied by calorific value. If the same thing, mass of fuel per minute, I am going to put in, then in numerator 60 should come. That is what I am going to do for converting this second. I will be dividing it by 60. That is a minute. Okay, 60 second will be 1 minute. So I will be that 60 will be taken into numerator. Okay. So take down this formula. This formula based on second, and you can write mass of fuel per minute. Then in numerator you put into 60. So write it clearly. I will be giving 1 minute time. So it may ask in 2 marks or 1 marks. Without knowing formula, you can't do anything. Already Manikandan asked me to give the formula. Now I am presenting the formula. Provided you have to write, then only it will be good. Manikandan, please unmute.
சார்
ஃபார்முலா எல்லாம் கொடுக்குறேன், புரியுதாப்பா?
புரியுது சார்.
இப்போ வந்து ஃபுல்லா டீச்சிங் மெத்தடாலஜி ஃபுல்லாவே 1 மார்க்கும் 2 மார்க்கும் அட்ரஸ் பண்ற மாதிரி இருக்கணும். சரியா?
ஓகே சார்.
நீ என்ன பண்ற, நான் 1 நிமிஷம் தருவேன், டக்குன்னு எழுதிரு.
ஓகே சார். நடுவுல தான் சார் கொஞ்சம் நெட்வொர்க் போயிட்டு வருது.
அதான்
அது
நீ அதை
மட்டும்
கொஞ்சம் சரி பண்ணு. இங்க பாரு, எக்ஸாம் வருது, இன்னும் 20 நாள்ல எக்ஸாம் வருது. நீ போய் அனௌன்ஸ்ல சார் எனக்கு நெட்டு போயிட்டு இருக்கு, எனக்கு மட்டும் இப்படி கொடுங்கன்னு சொன்னாங்கன்னா ஒத்துக்க மாட்டாங்க அதெல்லாம். சரியா?
ஓகே சார்.
அதனால ப்ராப்பர் நெட்டு, கேமரா அதெல்லாம் வச்சுக்கோ. அவங்க சிம்பிளா ரிசல்ட் வித்தல்டு அப்படின்னு முடிச்சிடுவாங்க. புரியுதா?
ஓகே சார்.
அதனால நமக்கு ஓகே, நான் அட்ஜஸ்ட் பண்ணிக்குவேன். அவங்க எக்ஸாம் அப்ப அதெல்லாம் அட்ஜஸ்ட் பண்ண மாட்டாங்க.
ஓகே சார்.
சரி, இது ஃபார்முலா எழுது. எழுதிட்டேன்னா சொல்லு, நான் நெக்ஸ்ட் ஃபார்முலா போறேன். 1 நிமிஷம் தருவேன், 1 நிமிஷம் இல்லை 2 நிமிஷம், அப்பதான் எல்லாமே பார்க்க முடியும். ரொம்ப நீட்டாலாம் எழுத வேண்டாம்பா, ஜஸ்ட் உங்க ரெஃபரன்ஸ்க்கு எழுதுனா போதும் நீங்க. ஓகேயா? இனிவோ இதே ஃபார்முலா வந்து அங்கே ஆப்ஷன்லேயும் இருக்கும். Before the day of exam, you no need to go through the book. You can go through the formulas what you have written, and you can go through the observations what you have done for preparation of this course. Okay. Anyway, I will be sharing the slide with you. And this is very, very important. That is, you have to understand what is brake thermal efficiency, what is mechanical efficiency, what is indicated thermal efficiency. See, my energy in fuel is going to get decreased. Actually, I will be having energy in the fuel in kilowatt. That is, I am mentioning my energy in fuel in kilowatt. But what will be my indicated power? I will be losing some energy. See, significant portion of my energy is getting lost. That is, energy is going in exhaust, energy is going in coolant, energy is going in radiation. So this is my indicated power. It means what? Only I can convert this much of energy into brake power. Energy available for me to convert into useful work will be this one only. Why? My amount of energy in fuel is going to get lost in exhaust, coolant, and radiation. So I will be having this much energy only. Okay. And again, I will not be able to convert this energy into brake power. Some amount of energy will be lost in friction and pumping. So that will be accounting into the difference between indicated power and brake power. Now you please understand, indicated power and brake power, the difference is energy is losing in friction and pumping. Don't take this into here. Friction and pumping will cause the difference between indicated power and brake power. Whereas energy loss in exhaust, coolant, and radiation will be considered into fuel to indicated power. Okay, so you understand this. Now see, indicated thermal efficiency, E, capital E stands for energy in fuel. That is the first block. So I can write indicated thermal efficiency means indicated power IP by E. Brake thermal efficiency means brake power by E. Okay. And mechanical efficiency means brake power by indicated power. Okay. So which one will be more? Indicated thermal efficiency will be more compared to brake thermal efficiency. Okay. When I'm going to divide indicated thermal efficiency by brake thermal efficiency, what I will be getting? I will be getting mechanical efficiency. That is mechanical efficiency. You get a formula from this. Brake thermal efficiency divided by indicated thermal efficiency. No, you can write it. When I am putting brake thermal efficiency in the numerator, indicated thermal efficiency in the numerator, it is similar to brake power by indicated power. Okay. So different versions of formula. You write this. No need to write, copy the bar chart, write the formula, and you mention the losses what I am going to consider. E to IP, you can put capital E, energy in fuel. E to IP, the losses are exhaust coolant radiation. IP to BP, the losses are friction pumping. Okay. Okay. See next, I have told you indicated thermal efficiency, no? Same formula. Instead of indicated power, you put brake power. Brake power also should be kilojoule per second, that is kilowatt. Mass of the fuel kilogram per second. If I am putting kilogram per minute, numerator you have to put 60. Okay. So brake thermal efficiency, same formula. Instead of indicated power, you put brake power. Next, mechanical efficiency. See what are the different versions of this formula. See, mechanical efficiency, brake power by indicated power. How to write indicated power? That is a difference between brake power and indicated power is frictional power. See, frictional power is equal to input power minus, sorry, indicated power minus brake power. So I can write indicated power is equal to friction power plus brake power. So instead of this, I can write what? BP plus F. I can find mechanical efficiency if any two powers are given, either brake power, indicated power, otherwise either brake power and friction power. Okay. And how to find friction power? Friction power is equal to indicated power minus brake power. Okay. And you can see brake power is delivered power. Indicated power is power provided to the piston. That is, you can write brake power is power delivered to the output shaft, where indicated power is power delivered to the piston. Okay. So copy this formula, and we can say see, it is written, this also you write, mechanical efficiency is equal to brake thermal efficiency by indicated thermal efficiency. This is very very important. That is, I can find mechanical efficiency either by brake power as well as indicated power. Otherwise I can find brake thermal efficiency to indicated thermal efficiency. The last word, it can be written as a formula. You can write mechanical efficiency equal to brake thermal efficiency divided by indicated thermal efficiency. Here I have told, no, mechanical efficiency, brake thermal efficiency by indicated thermal efficiency. E will get cancelled. That will be BP by I. So copy this. How to find mechanical efficiency? Why I am asking to copy? No, then only you will be knowing the answer. If 1 mark, the same thing can be asked for 1 mark or 2 marks. For 2 marks, the value will be given. You have to find mechanical efficiency. So you are preparing for both 1 mark as well as 2 marks. Copy it. Copying is essential. Then only you will be knowing the formula, or you will be able to choose the correct formula in the multiple choice. Next, see volumetric efficiency. See, first of all, for volumetric efficiency, to write this formula, what we have seen in the problem. That is, volumetric efficiency is equal to volume of charge taken in per minute at intake condition divided by total soft volume per minute. Everything per minute. Okay. So first of all, you write this formula. That is how much charge I am going to take in. Okay. That is, I am going to take inside the cylinder. So first of all, no need to write this and all. Write this formula. Volume of charge taken in per minute at intake condition divided by total soft volume per minute. Okay. From problem side of point of view, we are using this formula. This is the basic formula. That it means how much engine it can take and how much it can push to deliver power, how much it can displace. That is the meaning. The denominator I am putting soft volume now. It means how much it can displace. Okay. Now you write volumetric efficiency can be found by these two formulas. Mass flow rate of air divided by density of the air, volume of displaced divided by into n by 2. That is for four-stroke engine, okay? Two-stroke means capital N alone. And this one, it can be written as VD. That is a Swift volume. So write these two formulas for finding volumetric efficiency. That is MA stands for mass flow rate of air. Rho A density of air, volume displaced, n by 2, four-stroke engine n by 2. Write this formula. Okay. Now see, there is another formula, relative efficiency. We might have seen a problem that is before two classes. How to find relative efficiency? That is actual thermal efficiency, air standard efficiency. See, in one problem I have told you, no, auto cycle. So air standard efficiency of auto cycle have been compared, whereas actual thermal efficiency will be given or you have to find. That is in the last class. I will be showing the problem. See, we are finding, see the slide, we are finding relative efficiency, okay? So what we are doing, we are taking the thermal efficiency, that is brake thermal efficiency, and it is a gasoline engine, air standard efficiency will be a auto cycle. So we are putting 1 minus 1 by R. We are finding compression ratio and air C 1.4. So last class we have seen one problem. So that relative efficiency I am going to define. You will not be asked like this. You may ask what do you mean by relative efficiency in 2 marks. They may asking you like this. Okay. And you may get a question that is the actual thermal efficiency will be given and air standard efficiency will be given. You have to find relative efficiency. Other word is efficiency ratio. Remember this. 2 mark they may ask define that is the efficiency ratio is defined as three options will be there. Air standard efficiency will be in numerator in two options, and instead of actual thermal efficiency they will put some other term volumetric efficiency. So you have to identify the correct one. It will be actual thermal efficiency divided by air standard efficiency. Okay. So take down this, and then main thing what we might have done in problem, no, that is for finding indicated power in kilowatt. See this formula, everything related to kilowatt. Whenever I'm putting 60,000, it is in kilowatt. See, I'm finding indicated power from indicated mean effective pressure. So indicated mean effective pressure, LANK. What is L? Stroke. A, cylinder area. Small n is number of power stroke. That will be n is equal to n, capital N by 2 for 4 stroke, and it will be equal to n, capital N for 2 stroke. K is number of cylinder. Okay. So here you can see n, number of power stroke. N by 2 for 4 stroke, n for 2 stroke, K is number of cylinders. Okay. So this formula already you might have studied in problem. When I am explain the problem, I explained this. But for 2 marks, you have to know the formula well. Okay. 60,000 means what? For getting the answer in kilowatt. So indicated power formula, and from the indicated power you will be able to find indicated mean effective pressure formula. Either this one or this one can be asked. And similarly, brake mean effective pressure, what you have to do? Instead of indicated power, you put brake power. So write all these three formula. You will be comfortable in calculating indicated power, brake power, as well as indicated mean effective pressure, brake mean effective pressure. So here I am finding indicated pressure by indicated power by indicated mean effective pressure, not by mechanical efficiency or some other energy in the fuel. Other way, the second variant of indicated pressure. So copy this formula and I will be showing this. So you write down this. What is the value? See, whenever you are defining a formula, the unit should be also defined. For using this formula, is defining the indicated power should be in kilowatt. So like this only you have to define. Okay. So write everything, and once you are writing this, I will be showing this. This also you have to write. Okay. Why I am asking to write? So that you will be comfortable with this formula. So I will be giving some time. You write. Manikandan, are you writing? Please unmute and answer. Manikandan. What about Ilavarsan? Ilavarsan, come to chat box and tell whether you are writing or not. Only Ilavarsan is here. Manikandan, yeah, writing, good. Okay. Next, you take down this unit. Input power should be in kilowatt. Indicated mean effective pressure Newton per meter square. Length of the stroke meter. Understand carefully. When you are using this formula, stroke should be in meter. Area meter square. N RPM. And remember this. Small n stands for number of power strokes. Capital N by 2 for 4 stroke and N for 2 stroke and K number of cylinders. Okay, you note down this. Okay. Now see, this one is very very important. We never seen in the 2 marks. There is a term called mean piston speed. Okay, for finding out, you have to multiply 2 into stroke into speed. Okay, so what is mean piston speed? This quantity will be used in finding out specific power output and other applications. Okay, so if any it may be asked in 2 marks. The stroke will be given, speed will be given, and you may ask the mean piston speed. If the person has not referred this one, you will not be able to find the mean piston speed. And also for finding out specific power output. What is specific power output means? Specific quantity, that is brake power with respect to area. So you can see in 2 marks, if I am going to ask what is specific power output, power by unit area, power by unit mass, power by unit whatever different terms are there, you have to identify it is a power output per unit area. Okay, and my specific power will be proportional to mean effective pressure and mean piston speed. That also you have to understand. Okay, specific power output means I am calculating the power with respect to area, per piston area. That is, I may decide I am using a correct area for getting the required power. Okay, I am not bothering about cylinder size. So this quantity is entirely addressing the power relating with piston area. Now see, there is another quantity, specific fuel consumption. Actually, this fuel consumption should be less. And the other important question, it is inversely proportional to thermal efficiency. So this is the wording you have to know. When I need a thermal efficiency more, my consumption should be less. That is, I have to consume less fuel, then only I will be getting more thermal efficiency. So the relationship between SFC, that is specific fuel consumption, and thermal efficiency, I can say my thermal efficiency is inversely proportional to specific fuel consumption. Okay. So yeah, what is specific fuel means? How much amount of fuel I'm going to consume per unit power in specific power output with respect to area, whereas fuel consumption, specific fuel consumption with respect to power. If I'm saying with respect to brake power, BSFC. If I'm saying with respect to indicated power, then ISFC. Okay. So unit will be kilogram per kilowatt hour. Okay. So take down SFC, fuel consumption per unit time. So that only you are having the unit kilogram per hour. And denominator power. So kilogram per kilowatt hour. Like that it will come. Actually for a time here you will be using hour, not second. Later when adapting this SFC in formula, you'll be converting that hour into second. Okay. Next, already I have explained you. Fuel ratio can be defined in two ways. That is equivalence ratio phi and lambda. Equivalence ratio phi means actual fuel area ratio stoichiometric. See, fuel will be coming front. If it is lambda means I will say actual air fuel ratio, stoichiometric air fuel ratio. Remember this, okay? Where phi is called the equivalence ratio and lambda is called air fuel factor. In that, actual air fuel ratio divided by stoichiometric air fuel ratio. It's not fuel air ratio, it is air fuel ratio. Whereas equivalence ratio, if it is asked, it will be confusing. You may write actual air fuel ratio divided by stoichiometric air fuel ratio. It is not like that. Equivalence ratio is actual fuel air ratio. Fuel should come first. And phi is less than 1, it means what? Lean mixture. Whereas lambda is less than 1, it is a rich mixture. It will be changing. Okay, so understand the variant. Lambda greater than 1, it is a lean mixture, whereas phi less than 1, it is lean mixture. And phi greater than 1, rich mixture. Okay. Lean mixture means fuel less, air more. Okay. The last problem you might have seen what is air fuel ratio. Okay, so air fuel ratio can be expressed in two terms, phi and lambda. Phi means equivalence ratio, lambda means air fuel factor. So fuel air ratio, instead of using the word fuel air ratio, in lambda you will be using what? Air fuel ratio. Whereas in 5, fuel air ratio. Difference is there. Then calorific value. How to define calorific value? Calorific value is a energy. That is when I am going to burn the fuel, how much energy is going to get liberated per unit quantity, per unit mass. Okay. So how much energy is going to liberated per kg? And there are two values. This is very, very important. Higher calorific value, lower calorific value. Okay, that is when I'm going to get the energy, the products of combustion is going to return to its initial state. So based on that, I'm going to define higher calorific value or lower calorific value. So combustion is going to take place. So I will be having combustible mixture. That products are cooled to 25 degree Celsius. Okay, listen carefully. That products will be cooled to my room temperature. So what will happen? Whatever water vapor, that is combustion, I am supplying heat energy. So water will be converted into water vapor. So that water vapor will be again condensed. Okay, so based on that, I am going to define two heating value. When the water vapor is condensed, I will say it is a higher calorific value or gross calorific value. When the water vapor is not condensed, I am not allowing my product of condensation to cool, then it is called lower calorific value. Okay, so you understand this. When it is condensed, it is called higher calorific value. When it is not condensed, it is called lower calorific value, or I will use the word net calorific value. Okay. So you no need to write, just to write HCV, higher calorific value condensation. LCV, no condensation. Like this you can write. Okay. And these are the problems can be asked in 2 marks. See, cubic capacity. Cubic capacity means how far the engine can make a displacement, how much amount of air fuel mixture it can displace. Okay, so cubic capacity, cc means centimeter cube, it will be given over square engine. So it is given square engine means what? Bore and stroke will be same. Clearance volume, that is VC, is given. So from this, you have to calculate bore, stroke, and compression ratio. Cubic capacity means there is a formula pi by 4 d squared L. See, L and D, you can write 1:1. Okay, the ratio, yeah, my D and L is 1. Okay, so see, I'm putting a D cube, that is a L by D is equal to 1. Okay, instead of L, I can write what? D. So see, pi 5 by 4 D cube, that is equal to 245. D cube is so and so. Take the cube root, that is D, we'll be able to find. And stroke, that is 7 by 1.1. It is actually 1 means my L also will be 7. It is given what? 1.1. Okay, that is in L is equal to D by 1.1. And compression ratio, what? I already told the formula, no? Total volume, Vs plus Vc. Vs we have found. You keep Vc as like that. Okay. Vc it is given 27. From the given data I am putting and finding out the compression ratio. So this may be a 2-mark problem. You have to think. Okay. So you copy this. For 2-mark and all, no need to work out. Just you are substituting the formula and getting the answer. So here, no need to solve. Just see the methodology. See the formula, substitute the given data. No need to bother about the answer. Later you can work out and check whether you are getting the answer or not. But in four options, you will be having the answer 7 centimeter, 8 centimeter, 9 centimeter. You have to choose correctly. So, answer accuracy is important for 2 mark. In 13 mark, answer accuracy is not essential. Instead of 7 centimeter, if you are writing the formula correct, if you are putting 6 centimeter, you will be getting some marks. But here, accuracy is more. Accuracy is needed for MCQ. Okay, copy this. So next problem, C. Mechanical efficiency of single cylinder four stroke engine is given. Mechanical efficiency. Friction power is given, that is a 25 kilowatt. So this is very, very important. You please make a note. I'm sure that this type of problem will come for you in VDDC in 2 marks. Only two data is given. See, mechanical efficiency, then friction power. You have to calculate everything. Mechanical efficiency is what? Brake power by indicated power. That is zero point 0.8. Friction power is what? Indicated power minus brake power. So using these two relations, you have to find other formula. By mechanical efficiency, you will be knowing the relation between brake power and indicated power. Brake power is equal to zero point 0.8 into indicated power. You are substituting like this. So indicated power you will be calculating, and brake power, for calculating brake power, friction power is given. Okay, 25. Either you can use like this or you can use mechanical efficiency. That is indicated power for 125 into zero point 0.8 you can use. Otherwise, 125 minus 25 you can use. Both the method are correct. Okay, so this is very, very important. I guess this type of problem can come because the data given is 2 and you will be able to calculate all brake power, indicated power. Okay, so this is somewhat more interesting. You copy this. You are using this formula, mechanical efficiency formula, friction power formula. Okay. Okay. Next, last question. See, it is given a engine has a mechanical efficiency of 85%, 42.5 kilowatt engine. When nothing is specified, we can take it this as a brake power. Okay. So he's asking find the indicated power and friction power. Friction power is assumed to be constant with load. What will be the mechanical? So only one part will be asked. Other part, it will be asked in other way. Okay. So you have to calculate indicated power. Brake power is given. Mechanical efficiency is given. So using this formula, mechanical efficiency equal to brake power by indicated power. So indicated power is so and so. Friction power, indicated power minus brake power. Okay. This was very easy. See the second part. He is asking, my friction power is constant. Always it is constant. What will be the mechanical efficiency at 60% of the load? My load is getting reduced. Okay. At 60% of the load, what will be my brake power? So you have to think like that. When load is reduced, my power also will be reduced. See, 42.5 is a full rated condition. Okay. When 60% load, I can take 42.5 into 0.6. Okay. So the second problem alone can be asked. So it will be a twisted one. So 42.5 into 0.6. So it will be having what? 25. Now the brake power is modified. For this brake power, you may adapt the same friction power. See, friction power I am adapting how much? 7.5. Okay. So mechanical efficiency equal to brake power by indicated power. Instead of indicated power, I can write brake power plus friction power. You may ask for 60% load, how you can take the same friction power, that is 7.5. It is given C. Friction power is constant. Whether 20% load, 30% load, or full load, always friction power is constant. So 7.5 is constant for all operating condition. But brake power will be changing. Okay. So now my indicated power is how much? Brake power 25.5 plus 7.5. You find mechanical efficiency. So with this, today class is over. You copy this, and remaining things we'll be discussing in the next class. Unit 4 is Unit 3 and Unit 4 is over. Another 2 classes I will be completing VDDC. Now it is everything is very easy. Oh, you have to concentrate on 1 mark and 2 mark. So just theory part will be over. Conventional VDDC paper, it is part B question. For completing part A and 2 marks, we can complete very soon. So another 1 or 2 classes, I will be completing VDDC. Okay. So today I have taught you how to study 2 mark question from part B. So previously I have given some questions, no? Part B question, 13 marks. You break that question into 2 marks, like this. For example, see, this one is a 2 mark. That is second part will be 2 mark. And first part is another 2 mark. And 1 mark friction power is equal to indicated power minus brake power. So like this, you break the questions. Okay.
சார் அண்ணா யூனிவர்சிட்டியில கால்சியம் யூஸ் பண்ண விடுவாங்களா சார்?
At present, I don't know about it. In ExamNet, there is an option. You have to use a calculator. If a calculator is not allowed to use, then your examination will be very simple. Okay.
Okay, sir.
But I think if 2 mark is there, they may calculator. You should not use calculator from your side. In that website itself, calculator will be available.
சார் இன்னொரு டவுட் இருக்கு சார். ஆனா வேற சப்ஜெக்ட் சார். மெஷின் ஆஃப் டிசைன் எலமெண்ட்ஸ்ல டிசைன் டேட்டா புக் யூஸ் பண்ணி விடுவாங்களா சார்?
அது டிசைன் டேட்டா புக்கெல்லாம் நீங்கள் பார்க்க தேவையில்ல. அவங்களே எல்லா டேட்டாவும் கொடுத்துருவாங்க.
கிடையாதா?
அதான் உங்களுக்கு எக்ஸாம் வந்து ரொம்ப சிம்பிள் ஆயிட்டுப்பா. நீங்கள் நார்மலாக போயிட்டு உக்காந்து
ஹலோ
3 மணி கேட்குதா நான் பேசுறது?
கேக்குது சார். சைலண்டா இருக்குது.
அதாவது நார்மலாக நீங்கள் போயிட்டு ஒரு 3 மணி நேரம் எக்ஸாம் பேப்பர் வச்சு எழுதுனா உங்களுக்கு பெரிய தொல்லை பிடிச்ச வேலை. டிசைன் டேட்டா புக் எடுத்துகிட்டு போகணும், அதை பார்த்து எழுதணும். இப்போ அதெல்லாம் கிடையாது. நீ வெறும் லைட்டாக ஓவர் வியூ மட்டும் படித்தா போதும். முன்னாடி வந்து ஒரு யூனிட்டுக்கு நீ வந்து ஒரு 3 மணி நேரம் படிக்கிறேன்னா இப்போ ஒரு 1.5 மணி நேரம் படித்தாலே போதும், நீ பாஸ் ஆயிடலாம். புரியுதா? உங்களுக்கு ரொம்ப ஈஸி. இந்த ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டியை யூஸ் பண்ணி நல்ல மார்க் எடுத்துருங்க. அரியர் இருந்துச்சுன்னா கிளியர் பண்ணி விட்டுருங்க.
ஓகே சார்.
சரி, இது காப்பி பண்ணிட்டீங்கன்னா சொல்லுங்க, நம்ம நெக்ஸ்ட் கிளாஸ்ல பார்க்கலாம்.
ஓகே சார்.
இந்த பாடம் ரொம்ப முக்கியம். சரியா?
இந்த ஸ்லைட் அப்படியே ஷேர் பண்ணுவீங்களா சார்?
ஷேரும் பண்ணுவேன். ஆனா நான் உன்னை ஏன் எழுத
இந்த பிபிடி அப்படியே
நான்
ஷேர்
இப்ப எழுத சொல்றது எதுக்கு தெரியுமா? ஷேர் பண்ணா நீ அப்படியே
பிராக்டிஸ் வேணும்ல சார்?
எழுதுறது அப்படியே சும்மா கிறுக்கியாவது வச்சுக்கோ. ஃபார்முலா உனக்கு தெரியும்ல. ஒரு தடவை எழுதுறது வந்து 4 தடவை படிக்கிறதுக்கு சமம்பா. புரியுதா?
ம்.
சும்மா உனக்கு யார் ப்ராப்ளம்லாம் உன்னை எழுத சொல்லல. சும்மா அந்த மெத்தடாலஜி மட்டும் எழுதி வச்சுக்கோ. சரியா?
ஓகே சார்.
சரி. You will see in the next class.
ஓகே சார்.
Ilavarsan, have you written? Come to chat box. Mean piston slide once again, sir. Okay, I will show. Yeah, you can copy it. Ilavarsan, after copying, you can put a message so that I can disconnect the call. Anyway, I will be sharing this slide with you. So in WhatsApp, I have shared this PPT. Okay, Manigandan is online. Yes, left.
எஸ் சார்.
வாட்ஸ்அப் பாருப்பா, பிபிடி போட்டிருக்கேன். சரியா?
ஓகே சார். ஓகே சார்.
ஐ எம் டிஸ்கனெக்டிங் த கால். பை. ஓகே.
பாய் சார்.